In addition to the completion of the repairs to our station, Channel 5 would like to enthusiastically introduce our newest anchor, Ginny McNamara. Welcome aboard, Ginny. Would you like to take it away with Puppy of the Week?
Happy to be here, Jim. Thank you. This week in our Puppy of the Week segment, we're going to meet Rufus. Rufus is a 8-week-old St. Bernard puppy. The people at the shelter describe him as friendly, lickable, and oh so fluffy. So if you're interested in expanding your family to include one more big furball, come on down to the Seattle Humane Society today and see if this guy can become a part of your forever home.
Well, thank you again, Ginny, for taking over this segment for Bob Pittman. As you may recall, our beloved friend and family member, Mr. Pittman, died during the station occupation by the anarchist Anarchy last November. An assassination in the Orc Underground in early January 2080 has created an upheaval within the community. It was suspected the victim was the aforementioned Anarchy, but reports seem to indicate this same Anarchy is encouraging the current rioting within the community. Authorities are cautioning the public to not enter the Orc Underground until order is restored. Moving on. The terrorist Thanos Coolwind is still wanted by Knight Errant for his participation in the execution of the Mayuken Inc. board member Dazen Nagenza Kawami. Due to the lack of reported sightings, the additional reward of 10,000 new yen has been withdrawn, but the 100,000 new yen bounty Knight Errant originally posted for him remains available. Lone Star officials are no longer searching for the eco-terrorist Inc. in regards to her role in the Christmas Eve attack on St. Anthony's Hospital. The series of pharmaceutical robberies on which we have previously reported have continued. The Lone Star officials have 2 suspects believed to be associated with the mysterious Redmond Robin Hood in custody. The shortage of medical supplies has affected nearby clinics and hospitals. Unfortunately, this coincides with the increasing arrests and hospitalizations of those exhibiting violent, inexplicable changes in behavior. While we are hopeful that the Redmond Robin Hood's hooligans will soon be disbanded, the joint task force between Knight Errant and Lone Star has yielded few results. Thousands were disappointed when Crystal Rocks was a no-show at her final performance. Many had expected the young star to at least appear late, but when her manager and suspected lover was found murdered later that evening, the rumors began to swirl. For more on this, we go to our junior correspondent, Laura Burke. Laura.
Thank you, Jim. We all know and love Crystal Rocks, and we were all severely disappointed to hear that she was a no-show. But I'm down here at the venue where there's still some fans lingering. No, right?
Months later.
Oh.
Months later.
There's still some fans lingering.
Okay.
They've been shocked so much.
They have erected tents. It is a shanty town now.
You could say it has Crystal rocked them to the core.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones.
Oh,
do
God.
you think this was an act of a jilted lover, or do you think there's something more nefarious afoot?
I have heard rumors that Crystal Rocks was taken by a dragon in the night and is now deep in his lair, doing unspeakable things to him.
She's doing to him. What a twist of fate!
Well, I mean, kind of.
Young lady, how has the loss of Crystal Rocks affected you?
Me and my mom and my 2 best friends waited out all night outside the venue before a concert because we wanted to be the first people on the floor so you can get the front row seats. Because she's just my hero. You know, I listen to all her songs, I have all her albums, and my friends come over for a sleepover, and we listen to them all the time, and then when she didn't show up, it just broke my heart.
How sad.
It's sad. That's why I've stayed here for 6 months, just crying and crying and crying.
It's been like 2 months.
I don't think I'll ever get over it.
Back to you, Tim.
Finally, New United has encountered a staggering amount of backlash after a controversial policy about orcs and trolls being created for flights was leaked. New United officials have stated this joke, though made in poor taste, was only that, a joke. For more on this, we go to our senior correspondent, Robert Gregory, reporting from SeaTac Airport. Robert?
Robert Gregory here at SeaTac Airport, trying to get how the people are feeling about this. I've heard both ends of the spectrums that it's just a joke, and some people that are horribly, horribly upset about it. So let's get some opinions. All right, ma'am, how are you feeling about this?
Well, I think it's just despicable. I really do. The fact that in this day and age we're still joking about these things, especially with all the things that are going on in the Orc Underground nowadays, we need to be supporting our Orc and Troll brethren in arms in the streets. You know what I mean? She picks up a bottle and breaks it.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Walking away now. Mr. Jones, I see you made it here. It's good to see you again.
He seems really out of breath. He rode a dragon here, it's fine.
Now listen, you guys need to be closer together. We have here, it's just a simple joke. And you cupcakes need to stop getting upset about this. It was just a joke. Nothing wrong happened. That's not like we said that we should create the Orc Underground entirely, because that's entirely true. It's a war zone out there.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, moving on. How about you?
Well, I'm not really sure. It's just, them orcs, they seem kind of dangerous. And those trolls, can they even fit on an aeroplane without being in the cargo hold? I don't know. I think it's just, logistics. And it's not our fault. They just got thicker bones than us.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. See, like I said, both ends of the spectrum. All right, Jake, back to you.
Oh, you missed a chance to go. As you can see, the street is on the spectrum.
That'd have been good.
Well, I mean, you just had Crystal Rocks you to the core. That was pretty good. So, starting with Solar Flare, who are you? What have you been doing? And what do you look like?
Well, I am Solar Flare. I have been just doing a few runs here and there. We just finished up a run where we broke into a police station and stole evidence, which was good for my soul, personally. I felt good about that all the way through. But besides that, it's, same different day. She hasn't really been doing, anything too wild. I think this is only a little bit after that, the police station thing, so, she's probably just been, catching up on her day job and Gabby.
And I guess who's Gabby in relation to Solar Flare?
Gabby is Solar Flare's daughter.
Okay.
Who she cares for most of the time. She splits custody with her ex.
Okay.
Cecil, who has her right now.
All right. And then what does she look like?
Yeah, Solar Flare isn't super tall. She's only 5'3". She's very squat, but she's got muscles. She's not dainty.
Okay.
She's got a boxer's build. She can take a hit and she can throw a hit. And she is dressed in a black leather, think a la Kill Bill jumpsuit, but not bright yellow.
Okay.
And she has a helmet that covers her entire face. And it's the shiny chrome on the front side of it. And she never takes that off. Ever. Even in polite company.
All right. So then let's move on to Magpie.
Magpie was last seen on a previous mission known as Let's Get Kraken. He has since spent a long time away from the ocean.
Fair.
As far as possible. Spending a majority of his time drinking away the money he has made at his club, the Ace of Clubs. Magpie is a mage, so he is one of the only characters in our play group that actually can do magic. He is about, I'd say probably 5'9". He's actually fairly average, if kind of on the middling side of physique, just enough to remain kind of handsome. He's a mobster, honestly. He works for the mafia in Seattle, kind of does some magic work because mages are always in demand.
And he's basically in their pocket.
he is constantly flanked by his best friend, associate, and spellbound familiar, Mal, who takes the form of trying to look exactly like Magpie, except can't form facial features very well, so he's mostly wearing sunglasses and trying to stay out of direct light.
Or cat.
Or a cat. He does also become a cat.
Yep.
So that's basically it for him. He's been just kind of lounging around and trying to forget everything that happened on a submarine.
Okay. And then we have...
Blindside.
It's been so long since you've played Blindside that I did not remember.
It has been. I honestly can't remember. Oh, it was ants. It was Why Did It Have to Be Ants?
Oh, God.
I can't remember the name of that
Walk
mission.
in the park.
A Walk in the Park.
That's a
I'm going to
fucking-
call it Why Did It Have to Be Ants?
Flashback.
Yeah.
He's been sidelined for quite a while, and has essentially, become known as criminal the Redmond Robin Hood. And he's been, he had been setting up a clinic in the York Underground, but when he came up to get supplies, the York Underground exploded, and, that was the last time he's been down there. So he's been having a rough time trying to figure out where he's going to stay up here. It's hard to hide a 10-foot tall, 500-pound troll. And he's not a wealthy man. So he has been having to hide in, warehouses.
I mean, I guess that kind of covered what he looked like, unless you wanted to go into...
He is... he's a grayish color with heavy dermal plating all over him, and not a ton of large horns. They have either the larger ones have been ground off to fit under his helmet, or are have been broken off from years of fighting. And he typically will wear. He's very heavily modified with cybernetics. But most of it is internal, short of some, I think he's got a hand is the only thing that is visible. And he wears a riot suit 90% of the time, with very clear grinding marks after the last time I believe I worked with Magpie.
Yeah.
Magpie freaked the f*** out when he saw the Lone Star tactical gear. Because
I was just out of prison.
yeah.
Alright, and then lastly, we have Guinness, who we never call Guinness.
Never. How you doing? My name's Tony. I'm from New York. Got a beautiful wife, 5 beautiful children, 2 beautiful grandchildren. I enjoy tending bar. I don't know what else has happened to him. Oh, right. Oh,
You're on the mission with Solar Flare.
Oh, yeah.
And you
yep.
almost died.
I did. I got a shiny new mechanical arm. Basic model right now, but my daughter says she might be able to spruce it up someday. Who knows? All the crazy things they do with medicine these days. But I'm trying to put that behind me. I've got a new lease on life. Trying to take every day and appreciate it for what it is. Oh, right. Tony owns a bar in Seattle called the Half Pint. He's a dwarf. That's the joke with the half pint. And looks kind of like a greaser. Black leather jacket, pompadour hair. He's always got a comb in his back pocket. Might be a switchblade, might be a comb. Who's to say?
Might be
Right.
a switch comb.
Something. You never know. That's the fun of it. Loves boozing and selling drugs, and his wife.
Not in that order.
No, wife, then nothing else. Just wife.
Oh.
No. And the reason that you do all these jobs is so you can take her up to the moon.
That's true.
When
That's
you get
true.
in trouble.
For doing these jobs.
That's true. She loves to be taken care of, and I love taking care of her.
So what did you do to repay her for losing your freaking arm?
Honestly, I live. That's my gift to her for that. Honestly.
Yeah, Magpie, your comm starts ringing.
You got Magpie.
I need your help, but I don't have much time. He is taking over and changing everything. He must be stopped. I think he is listening. Do not trust him. He is a liar. I I have another mission for you, but it seems as though we're missing a few runners. Give me a moment while I invite them to the call. And it's at this point that Solar Flare, Blindside, and Guinness are all invited to the call.
Is this a prank? She looks around the bar. Like, what?
You got solar flare.
I have a job for you. Mr. Johnson has a job for you. I'm just the relay. So we're looking at a Mr. Fisk. That is a Mr. Daniel Jonathan Fisk. I actually used to know him. That was some time ago. I can't say if he's changed, but he was a bit of a some woman that I worked with called him a slime ball, and alright, yeah, I can see it. There's a photo included with the details of the job. So he relays all of that while he's on the comm with you.
John?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
But yes, though.
What do you... Okay, well, we're gonna have to go over some things, like how much is this worth?
Excellent. That's exactly what I'm getting to. I'm just generally speaking, I'm gonna be able to give you more information once you get down there.
Are there boats?
There are no boats.
Thank God.
Apparently in the wake of the revolution in La Paz, he has began commandeering resources that don't belong to him. Mr. Fisk has usurped the governor's palace and evacuated the town. Rumor has it he's working on some kind of weapon. Once completed, he's going to be a threat. As it is, he's pretty well protected, and getting into the town is going to be kind of difficult. But he's not the only target. There are 3 scientists in his employ that we would like. We don't know their names, only their reputations, but there is a courier we need you to find and make contact with who does know their identities. We don't know who this courier is, but we have information that will help you find them. Of course, you can go straight there, kill Mr. Fisk, and that will earn you 2,000 new yen. And before you start griping, it's so low because of how late some other runners were with a different job. And you don't need to worry about travel expenses because your Mr. Johnson has that covered.
Seems like a lot of variables that you don't know for us to be successful at this job.
I mean, it should be noted that making contact with the courier won't earn you anything, but you get us these 3 scientists, and upon verifying their identities, we'll award you an additional 1,000 new yen each.
Each is in per person or each is in per scientist?
Each as in per person.
Are you really talking I knocked out a giant squid.
So you say, but we haven't been able to verify that.
Is this really the appropriate time to be bringing something like that up?
Thank you for having a degree of professionalism, Solar Flare.
I mean, I'm nothing if not professional.
Alright, let's ask this. So we kill the Fisk guy.
Yeah.
Scientists, we bringing them back, dead or alive?
We would prefer them alive because it's the things that they can do and their reputation. That's what we want. So dead scientist doesn't really do anything for us.
No.
That's
I'm with
fair.
her.
You don't want Fisk alive.
No, that would just be unnecessary baggage. No.
And where is this Mr. Fisk?
La Paz.
Ah, the South.
Is that an Aslan, you said?
It is, yeah.
Great food. Hot women.
Yeah, we've actually had a job here before, but that was a while ago.
Against my better judgment, I'll go.
I mean, of course, technically this is all at your convenience. The sooner the better, obviously. I'll say after 2 weeks, I'm going to assume you're all dead and just hire additional runners for half your pay for my trouble.
Since you said that we're getting paid so low because of the slowness of previous runners finishing the job, and you just mentioned that you'll pay someone else if we can't get it done, how far down the line are we? How many people have failed before us?
Well, no one for this particular task. The issue that we've had has been finding the courier who we know has the identities of the people that we want, and we know that they are boarding a train this afternoon to go back to La Paz, or at least a town outside of La Paz. So this will be your opportunity to find them.
And we just need to find the courier, grill them for what they know about the scientists, and go find scientists in Fisk.
Yep.
Sounds easy enough.
They always do.
Do you have a problem?
Oh. Real quick question, John.
Sure, I got time.
You, I don't know, you go any weird places lately? Maybe, like, I don't know, did you ever go, like, plane jumping? Is that a thing you're into? Not like airplanes, but, like, alternate dimensions. Is that a pastime of yours that I didn't know about previously?
Nope.
No?
I've never. I only know of this one plane.
Okay.
I have also never as in jump from a plane, just to cover all our bases.
Okay.
Okay. So I have 4 tickets waiting for you at the station. I would say first class tickets, but that's sort of redundant since it's a luxury train. It's going to be leaving this afternoon in about 3 hours. Did any of you have any questions for me? Any additional questions before I leave this to the professionals?
You said that you had some information to help us figure out who the courier was?
That is correct. We know that he's left-handed, and he's been dabbling with vegetarianism. He doesn't always stick with it, but he's making an honest effort.
What?
His heart's in the right place.
How do you know this but not
His
anything
name.
else?
And so this Fisk guy, is it just...
I mean, look, I told you I'm a relay for the Johnson. I don't get the information myself. I
What
just
did he-
relay what we have to you and put a price tag on it.
So this Fisk guy, you just want him killed. Like, is there any... Do you want anything... Is it public? Do you want it hidden? Just make him disappear?
Honestly, it's so far removed from Seattle that even if it draws attention, it won't necessarily get back to us for months, so that's not a big deal. I guess if you could do it covertly, then by all means.
I
kind of hard
specialize in subtle.
It's kind of hard for me to be subtle with the mask.
I mean, and see, that's also fine. You also don't have to be subtle because, as I just said, so far removed from Seattle that it's going to take months until it gets back to us, so that's fine. As long as he's removed from the situation, that's really the big thing. There had been sort of like a ragtag group down there that had taken control, but Rolses in this guy, has a little too much power, puts himself in a position of power, and just kind of ousts the group that was trying to get the situation under control.
So we're going to cause even more civil unrest.
Mhm.
Cool.
Well, basically, I mean, if it makes you feel better, you'll be restoring power to the people.
Revolutionaries. I like it.
Viva la paz.
Are we good then?
Yeah.
Sounds easy enough, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah, seems pretty cut and dry.
Then safe travels. You can pick up your tickets at the station.
When's the train leaving?
About 3 hours.
Oh boy. Betsy, call Tiffany. I'm just gonna have to take over the bar if I'm taking the night off.
Yeah.
I'm taking off on a long train trip. I'm taking the midnight train down to Georgia. Midnight train to Georgia.
I thought it was the midnight train going anywhere. All right, so you all have your bags packed. I'm gonna say within an hour or so, and you're gonna head down to the train station. When you get there, I mean it's a busy train station, and you still have to collect your tickets, but you can spot like the train because there's a bunch of like advertisements for it. Because something that wasn't mentioned in the call is that it's like a throwback luxury train.
Oh my god. I'm so said that I had an idea. I had an outfit in my head. It's just perfect.
Okay, like no, it's very height of luxury, but like 1920s, 1930s era. Like it's a very classic throwback train. But that said, it's also been modernized. Like it is a double decker. So the exterior not so much, but the interior there's a couple of pictures here and there. There's a lot of velvet, deep brocade, polished wooden floors. It's not too hard for you guys to get your tickets. Whatever false name you requested to get your tickets was used. So it's literally going to the ticket counter and reading out your false name, possibly verifying with a false ID, and getting your ticket.
I arrive to the train station about a half an hour early.
Okay.
Plenty of time. You see a couple, smartly dressed. Betty in a nice crisp blue dress, Tony in a nice dark brown suit with a vest underneath. He's got a paper under his arm and a hat that matches his suit, obviously bespoke. It's fitted very nicely to him. He and Betty walk up to the ticket booth, and he purchases his ticket, or gets his ticket from the call desk. Gives her a kiss on the cheek, and she waves to him as he sits down at the bench to read his paper. And looks around waiting for people he might know.
I roll up on my bike. Yeah, my Mirage.
Roll perception when you're parking your motorbike.
Yes, I can roll a perception.
Speaking of which, I imagine we, like, agreed upon a place to get together before boarding the train or in the train.
I mean, if based on what time you show up to the train station, yeah, y'all can meet at the train
And just
station.
assumed, like, that way we all know who's on the same team.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're all on the call
But
together.
we don't know each other.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
we do.
we should all probably go to the one place. Okay, we'll meet you there. All right, now we know
Well,
who's
I know
who.
him. Y'all know each other.
I know him.
So
I know you. Basically, we know enough people that know each other that even if we didn't talk about it, I imagine Tony's not the kind to hide. He's sitting there trying to.
And you could always shoot each other like a message because all your numbers were included, so
Right.
now you have each other's comm numbers.
Right.
Don't give me that look. It's
been a while.
It's been an age and a half.
Surveillance, by the way, is not Tony's strong suit, as far as that is concerned. So while to him, he is the epitome of cool and casual, just kind of subtly flicking through his paper at his own leisure. But what it might be more is as if he'd cut 2 eye holes in the paper and was just looking, just scanning wildly. It's something in between those two.
Okay. Alright, you got one? You don't see anything, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You obtain your ticket.
I'll scan around.
Oh, we make eyes, and he looks up from his paper and he goes, "Well, good morning, sunshine. It's great to see you again."
Tony, how are ya?
Oh, please, here it's Jimmy.
Oh, I'm Erica.
So, awkward phone call earlier, am I right?
Yeah, those guys don't know how to be professional at all.
Oh man. Hopefully it's a better showing in person than it
Boo
was.
hoo hoo, something giant squid.
Like who hasn't fought a sea beast now and then, am I right?
At this point, you see like one of the new Uber town cars pull up, and a large beast of a man like crawling out the door trying to extricate himself because he forgot to click troll on his new Uber account.
That's funny. I do imagine that we both just kind of see this happening, look over, and then look at each other and go like, so you think he's on the team?
I mean, he is wearing like armor.
I imagine no.
I imagine
Getting on a luxury cruiser?
Hi.
He'll have to change. He wasn't thinking
Well, she
ahead.
won't take her helmet off either.
Yeah.
Real
Fair.
subtle.
Yeah,
We're all gonna be
can't-
sitting there at a nice dinner and be like, guys, there's no cause for alarm. We're all just safe.
He's
and
private
sound."
security.
There's a glass house around my head. I cannot throw stones.
Oh. So pulls his backpack out of the thing and like has to twist it to get it out the door. Manages to extricate it and goes and gets his ticket.
What's your name?
Gage. I mean,
What's your fake name?
Dylan. My name is Dylan.
Magpie, when do you show up?
Yeah, he strolls up, basically close to time to get on the train. Not quite running late, but not early. He's in a nice pinstripe suit. He's got the hat. He's got Mal with him, and they just kind of stroll up to the ticket booth. Finn O'Brien and Brian Finley.
I'm sorry, we only have one ticket available.
Excuse me, what?
We were holding one ticket?
What? Okay. We'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And he'll walk in. Alright, just... Mal just kind of, alright, goes invisible. Disappears into the astral plane.
I like how Magpie thinks that anybody would give a shit about your familiar. Enough to buy a ticket for him specifically.
It's because he does.
No, I
You could have
really...
bought him his own ticket at 5,000 you get a